The Canadian housing market is going to crash. Canada's housing market is walking straight into a buzzsaw with falling prices in the biggest cities, a weakening economy, and a mortgage renewal wave that raises payments for millions of people. So today in this video, I'm going to show you the data and why the next 12 to 24 months could be the breaking point. I made a video similar to this a couple of years ago, and I still think Canada is in the same situation. I just think that they've kept on delaying the inevitable, and I think it hasn't happened yet, but I think it's going to happen eventually. So in this video, we're going to go over what's going to crack first, the economy, go over the mortgage renewal bomb, because in Canada, mortgages work very differently than the USA if you're watching from America. We'll talk about arrears, what this looks like, and why it looks like a slow motion crash. Then we'll do a regional snapshot, and then we'll do what this means if, and then we'll finish up the video. Before we get into it though, 90% of you watching are not subscribed. So if you want more information and more videos just like this one, please click the subscribe button. And if you want to invest in American real estate, click the link at the top of the description. I have a real estate fund. We buy multifamily apartment buildings across the country, and we can accept Canadian investors if you just so happen to be a Canadian watching this video. So with that being said, let's get into it. So first, what's cracking first? So big city price and sales slip. So first, let's talk about the top three major metros of Canada. We have Toronto, Vancouver, and BC. So in Toronto, August home sales fell month over month for the first time in 5 months, almost 2% month over month. And the MLS home price index edged down again, not that much. Affordability remains stretched even with lower borrowing costs, and that's definitely true. I mean, Toronto is one of the most expensive cities, most expensive markets in the entire world. And I think BC and Vancouver, BC, also was one of the most expensive cities and markets in the entire world as well. So for Vancouver, August benchmark fell 1.3% month over month and 4% year over year. Detached is down 5% year over year, and sales remain 19% below the 10-year seasonal average despite a small year over year uptick. So that's insane how much sales are down. And I think we're seeing the same thing in America too. So I don't think it's just a Canadian thing, but we're definitely seeing it in America as well, where we have all these sales are down, and it's kind of converted into a buyer's market. So I think the same thing is happening in Canada as well, which is kind of interesting. And we have so much more inventory here in the US than you guys do in Canada compared to the buyer pool. I think also a lot of Canadians stopped investing in other markets. Like a lot of Canadians used to invest in the USA. I think they've slowed down on that and just have been trying to look at investing into America, especially with everything that's been going on. Now, BC, the Provincial Association forecasts 2025 sales down 2.2% with only a modest rebound penciled for 2026. So looks like just across the board, everything is kind of slowing down a little bit by like 2 to 5% annually. And then over a 10-year seasonal average, sales are way down. But we're seeing the same thing kind of happen in the USA as well. So the main takeaway here is that Canada's two largest markets are slipping on price, with sales still below normal classic late cycle signals. So interesting. Now, the economy is rolling over. So economists widely expect the Bank of Canada to cut rates again this week because growth is faltering. So the GDP shrank 1.6% last quarter. The labor market shed 65,000 jobs in August. Rate cuts will help the sentiment, but they're arriving because the economy is weakening. I think we're also doing some rate cuts here in America. So again, like both markets kind of work hand in hand. So it's kind of interesting to see this happen in both countries at the same exact time. But rate cuts will help. It also will help the amount of buyers that are out there that want to go into the buyer pool to buy the inventory because sales are so far down. And so when you see sales so far down, it means the market has converted to a buyer's market, which means there's more sellers than buyers. So buyers have a greater advantage. Now with rate cuts, there's going to be more buyers, to kind of like edge this all out. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, especially when Bank of Canada starts to cut rates. Now, this is what I'm most worried about, is this mortgage renewal bomb. So the Bank of Canada estimates 60% of mortgage holders renewing in 2025 to 2026 will see higher payments. The average payment could rise 10% for 2025 renewals and 6% in 2026 versus 2024. This is not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but just imagine you have a mortgage payment. So in Canada, you have typically like a 5 or 10 year loan. You can't really do like a 20 or 30 or 40 year loan like you can do here in America. So you're going to be at a 5 to 10 year term. Every 5 to 10 years, you have to refinance and get the new interest rate. which sucks. 60% of mortgage holders renewing in 2025 will see higher payments because 5 years ago, the interest rates weren't as high as they were today. And now with rate cuts, it might help them save a couple percentage points here and there. But I thought this number was going to be a hell of a lot worse because we went from like a 2 to 3. Actually, Canada had like a negative interest rate or 0% interest rate at one point to now being like a 5 and 6%. So I thought it was going to be a 500% increase in their payments, but 6% is actually not that bad. When I made the video a couple years ago talking about the Canadian real estate market crashing, it was very, very similar to this. Like it was, actually it was a little bit different. It was people had interest rates of 1 to 2%. Now they're going to be at like 4 or 5%. So it was a way, way, way bigger hit. But I don't know if the Bank of Canada or the banks that they were doing business with just kind of extended their loans out, or if people just took the hit and things went steady from there. Kind of interesting. So the private sector forecasters echo the pain. Renewals will be the dominant story through mid-2026. Even if it doesn't spark mass default, it squeezes spending around and demand. That's for sure. Because now a lot of people in Canada own their own home, and they're going to be 10 to 20% more, or this is showing 6 to 10% of their money now is going to be going to their mortgage payment, which means less spending, less consumer spending, means businesses take a hit, means the economy can get hurt, right? So it kind of is this trickle down effect of just like these tiny little things. Again, I thought this was going to be a bigger percentage, but this is kind of interesting. Why this matters. Prices don't crash because people want to sell. They crash when people have to sell or when buyers disappear. Higher renewal payments and weaker jobs is fewer buyers and more forced listings, which is true. But aren't arrears low? Yes, for now. The CMHC's Q2 update shows insured mortgage rates a years are 0.3, slightly higher than last year, but still low. Arrears data lags the cycle. Renewals and job losses take time to show up in defaults. Why this looks like a slow motion crash. So prices in the top markets are already slipping, Toronto, Vancouver. Housing demand will be hit as renewal shocks land through 2026. Macro backdrop is deteriorating, contracting GDP, job losses, even as rate cuts signal trouble. Sales volumes remain below normal. Vancouver is below 19% of the 10-year seasonal average. So any fresh inventory forces more discounting. Put together, it's a recipe for more price declines before any true recovery takes hold. I think unless, again, like the interest rates come down to a point where there's going to be so many more buyers that are going to hit the buyer pool, that could be something interesting as well, to kind of see what happens. And then completely separate side note video would be like talking about the tariffs and stuff like that. Like, how is that going to affect the economy? Are people going to spend more? Prices going to go up in Canada, etc. Regional snapshot, who's going to get hit the hardest? So Greater Toronto Area, prices are down 5% year over year with fresh monthly dips and new listing rising. Buyers have to leverage again. Yep, it's a buyer's market. Metro Vancouver, broad-based price declines across detached, attached, and condos, still under 10-year sales average. So just huge sales declines in Vancouver. Prices are going down 5% year over year in Toronto. The rest of BC REA, maybe means Real Estate Association, projects a subdued 2025 before a tentative 2026 improvement. Okay, interesting. So what does this mean? So if you're a buyer, don't chase, let the renewal wave do its work, focus on motivated sellers and properties that pencil at today's rates. If I was a buyer, this would be like probably the best time to go out there and buy a investment property or a primary residence in Canada. You're in a buyer's market. The interest rates are not too bad. Before everybody else jumps on the bandwagon with a rate cut, I would go out there and start buying. If you're a homeowner, consider selling. Considering selling, price to the market you have, not the one you remember. If you must sell, move fast before the winter slowdown. That's true as well. We are going to have a winter slowdown in Canada. And if you do need to sell, I would just sell it and try to get out of it ASAP, because I think the prices are probably going to be the same and probably going to be the same for the next 12 to 24 months, and maybe just go down like 5%. So if you do want to sell your house, need to sell your house, I would just do it, list it for a price that's going to get rid of it, because there's so much competition out there right now in terms of listings. If you're an investor that wants to invest in Canada, I would recommend investing in America before investing in Canada. Way better real estate markets, way more data, way more opportunities, way more metros to diversify your cash. If you still want to invest in Canada, now would be a great time to do so. Bottom line, Canada is heading into a confidence and cash flow squeeze, weakening growth, renewal-driven payment hikes, and already falling prices in the flagship markets, Toronto, Vancouver. Unless income growth suddenly explodes, it won't. The path of least resistance is down with the heaviest pressure through 2026 as renewals peak. So with that being said, thanks for staying till the end of the video. I want you to comment down below, what do you think? Is this going to happen in Canada? Are we going to see some sort of price cuts? Are we going to see the market suffer even more? Or do you think it's going to be more of just the same stuff that's happened for the last couple of years? If you do want to invest in American real estate, click the link top of the description, and I'll see you in the next one.